Welcome to HubSpot, the podcast for busy marketers looking to get more leads and sales from HubSpot. Discover the latest from the world of content marketing and social media. Here are your hosts from the Kingdom, Sam Johnson and Adam Steinhardt.
Welcome back, Adam. Episode 51.
Hi, Zan Johnson. How are you? Thanks so much for having me.
Look, it's an absolute pleasure. I appreciate you coming back each week. The show would probably not be quite the same without you. What a week it's been. Episode 50, we have experienced a lovely spike in new listeners, which is wonderful.
Yeah, high excitement. And if you haven't checked out episode 50, of course, that was the episode that we had the delight of having the Hubcast expert and co-founder, George B. Thomas on the show. But today's another day, Zan.
It is.
Episode 51.
Episode 51, and we push on. We've got some great content this week to cover. So without further ado, let's get into it. Adam, what are you liking this week?
Well, Zan, interesting week this week. And for those of you that are in your HubSpot portals, you will discover that HubSpot is extending their relationship with Facebook and has integrated with the all-new Facebook Workplace.
Yes.
app.
Look, it's been a busy couple of weeks for Facebook in general, with a few new announcements and the new dating side of things as well, which
that's going to rock the Tinder world a little bit, and Bumble, certainly dating's a good idea. That makes sense.
So let's have a little bit more of a closer look at Workplace. Is it LinkedIn? Is it Facebook in a suit? What's its purpose? Why are we there? Why do we need it?
Yeah, look, good question. Facebook in a suit is actually a good way to describe it, I think. And interesting, it's also a paid platform too, Zan. So $3 a user. It is free to get going though. So what it effectively is doing is what you would currently use Slack for, or Yammer, or Teams, Microsoft Teams, but with some little twists which we've become very familiar with out of the Facebook platform, which are things like newsfeed, walls, groups, events, all the things which are currently on Facebook. So, yeah, look, it is Facebook with a suit at the moment, but I really like where it's going.
Okay.
And I think that one of the great benefits you have here is that, I mean, these guys are big. They've got a lot of resources devoted to research, devoted to innovation. And so we could see some pretty cool stuff coming out here.
Yeah. So you mentioned a couple of other tools then, Slack, Teams. Can you upload like files and kind of use it as a central resource for files that other team members are going to use? Like, I haven't had a huge look at it yet.
Yeah, so absolutely. So it's just think of Facebook. The difference, of course, is that this is contained. It's not exposed to anybody who's not part of your domain. So you can't just invite people willy-nilly into be working in the space. So that's strictly for your company.
Right.
Which means that what goes on your workplace deployment stays in there as a company activity. So great for file management, great for storing. The wall is a good way to converse.
Yeah.
You can create groups of conversation. So it is very similar to what's happening with Teams and Yammer, but with the power of Facebook. So, and of course it's connected with HubSpot. So that's the cool part about it.
Very cool.
There is an integration with the tool, with HubSpot, and with the messaging part of the HubSpot platform.
So it's this is an interesting one, because for many years I've known of businesses who have had groups set up for their staff. So like a little private environment where people can add one another to groups. So the Kingdom, for example, might have a Kingdom group.
Like
and
an
that's
email group.
Well, yeah, but as a group on Facebook. So this, I guess, is kind of taking that out of the group scenario and actually making it a little bit more formalised in workplaces.
Yeah, and I think that it's also interesting that they've got a app that is now paid.
Yep.
So if you look at Facebook's history, they've got Instagram free, they've got Facebook itself free, and they've got WhatsApp free. I use it every day like 1,000 times and I forgot it.
What's that called?
So it's the first sort of paid business suite, and really, really powerful stuff. So
cool. Well, I look forward to looking a little bit more into that integration with HubSpot and learning, I guess, how it's going to help us.
So what the integration does, Zan, let me help you out with that, is it the sales reps receive the notifications within the workplace triggered by a team a member. So if somebody's doing a task or doing a message that goes into the actual workplace tools. Now, Workplace also have an iPhone app, an Android app that goes with it, a desktop app. So they rolled out the whole lot in one big bang. So
very
it's pretty impressive stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. I look forward to seeing a little bit more of that in action.
Perfect.
Very good. Now, what I'm liking this week comes from thanks for asking. Comes from a real life experience where we were looking at the homepage of a website for a client and we were curious to see, I guess, a bit of a heat map, weren't we, on what was working and what wasn't working. So we went into the optimization for that page and then cruised down to the little side tabs and we're able to click on the CTAs and, we kind of got a bit of a surprise, didn't we? It was a little bit skewed in a different direction than what we had assumed.
And, Zan, this is an interesting, really interesting topic you raised here because what we're effectively doing is we're able to see the call to actions that have been clicked on the page and we can see the top ranking call to actions from in this case, the homepage. Now, one of the big observations we have, particularly with customers when they first come on board their inbound journey, is that there are not nearly enough call to actions on the homepage.
Yeah, that's true.
And so pretty much we advocate that you put a call to action after pretty much every block of the section you're building.
Yep.
And this really does make it even more critical to do that because you've got a ranking system of effectively what's resonating. And the thing was for us that by seeing this optimization tab on the back of the website section, we were able to effectively smash some assumptions that were being made.
That's right.
That were incorrect.
Yeah.
Assumptions were being made based on one or two anecdotal stories and situations as opposed to actually the real data which hadn't been looked at. And so the call to actions, because there are a lot on the page, it really allowed the actual analysis to occur. So get call to actions on your page and look at the optimization tab, which is in the back end of the website tool. Very powerful.
And I think that just highlights once again, and we do talk about this a lot, is actually looking at the numbers that support what you're doing, support your endeavors, and use them then to stamp out that assumption-based marketing that people seem to cling to so desperately.
Yeah, assumption marketing is a disaster, and so the numbers are available in HubSpot and you can get them. So certainly a good idea. Now, as a little thing that I'd love to see though with HubSpot is that we have it in the email tool, where we can actually see where we can visually see where the
like
person
a click map.
Yeah, the click map. So check out the email tool there. You can see the people who have clicked, and you can actually see a click map of that email. That should also be available in the website tool.
Totally agree.
That would make sense. So we actually have a more visual representation, and we're able to see the call to actions ranked. But that doesn't include blue links, for example, HTML links which have been clicked on, which the email tool does do. So, and I look at that and think, why can't HubSpot do that? Why can't we see just like in the same way as the email tool? So, bit of an extra features.
I think that was like a little early #girlboss that you just snuck in there.
Yeah. Sorry.
Points off. Points off for you.
Again. Another bad week.
Very good. So there you go. There are two what we're liking this week. Moving on now, Adam, for a tip of the week, a little helpful hint that our listeners might enjoy. And this, I have to say, was a little bit of fun. We spend heaps of time talking with clients about personas.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time. We go quite crazy with this process.
Colour pencils,
we get texters out. Sharpies for our American listeners.
And New Zealand, the Kiwis don't know what texters are either.
Oh, really?
No, there's Sharpies as well.
Sharpies.
Yeah, maybe we're wrong.
Maybe we are. Well,
no, we're not.
Yeah. And we map it out, we draw it, we talk about the car they drive, the school the kids are at. We really, really get invested in the persona process. So this week we had a little bit more fun with our persona, and we plucked one of the personas out and we actually did a physical role play.
Yeah. And this was with an established website.
Yeah.
So the difference there is that sometimes you're starting out the process of inbound, you make your personas first. But in this case, we said, right, well, let's be Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It wasn't them, but
No.
using that overused name.
This persona needs to be kept private.
Correct. Yeah. So it was real, and so we actually went through each part of the website and said, right, would Mr. and Mrs. Smith click on this?
Yes.
Would Mr. and Mrs. Smith care about this graphic? Would they care about this call to action? Would they care about the font color and the choice?
What will they do next?
Yeah, what will they do next? And what is going to be important to them? And it was a really interesting exercise because I think in this particular case, the product we were selling was a high consideration product. And we came to the conclusion that it doesn't really matter that much about the font and colors and graphics and a lot of stuff we take for granted in creative land. It was very much about making sure that it was sensible and explaining and providing the correct content. And I reckon it's just a bit too easy to get caught up in a lot of stuff that's not necessarily relevant to the customer.
Yeah, sometimes. And I think, you do go and spend all of that time working on your personas. So let's just say you identify that one of your personas is a market of 50 to 65-year-old people. Now, with all due respects to anyone fitting that age demographic, their use of the tool... Yeah, well, no offence.
Total offence taken.
Oh, careful, your walking stick.
I can't see it. I need glasses.
You've distracted me now. Their use of the websites and internet, they need to have the information easy to find.
Correct.
They don't want to be wading through pages and pages. Well, no, but, you got to make it easy for them.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. And
help them.
And everyone's time poor these days too.
Totally.
So the obvious stuff has to be there, obvious and easy to get to, not too tricky. So, I recommend everyone having a go, especially on their own website. Just go ahead and make yourself be a customer and really be quite harsh on yourself. Take the egos out of the room and have a crack.
Well, and we did it a couple of times. We did it with a small team, and then we did the same role play effectively with a larger team. And everyone benefited from that process. So definitely worth doing. Tip of the week. Role play your website out. Have a bit of fun with it.
Role play that persona.
Yeah, very cool. Hashtag Girlboss. I'm a bit excited. I've reached out to some hashtag Girlbosses.
This is a cool idea you've got.
I've had some love.
Yeah, I really think this is a brilliant idea.
I know. I can only have so many hashtag Girlboss ideas of my own.
So outsourced it.
Well, no,
Subcontracted it.
Well, I have reached out. I've hashtag Girlboss reached out. So to Nicole, who is the co-founder and CMO of Campaign Creators out of San Diego.
Yeah, lovely San Diego.
Lovely San Diego. We do love San Diego.
Yep.
Nicole has given me an awesome hashtag Girlboss idea for our podcast this week. So
Great.
Thank you very much, Nicole. We will put links to Nicole's site in our show notes, which Adam loves doing.
Yeah, great.
But Nicole's idea is this. She would love to see a visual journey builder, like a map or something visual, obviously, showing how people move through campaigns.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Nicole, you nailed that. That's
Yeah.
actually really, really nice. Some of the opposition products do have that a little bit. So what we're seeing there, what we're saying is that actually, okay, if a person clicks here, then this happens, and a person clicks here. So it's like the level above workflows.
Yep.
Yeah. With potentially a comment on it and add notes. Yeah, that's nice.
Well, I guess it would give you an idea then too of perhaps what content was missing, what they weren't clicking on. So maybe that piece of content is in the wrong spot.
Absolutely.
Too high in the funnel.
Or planning a webinar too. At the moment, if you're planning a webinar, how do you actually plan it? You've got to go ahead and do a whole bunch of emails and a whole bunch of connections. I mean, connect to GoToMeeting and do landing pages and thank yous and dates. And that reminds me, I've got to do one today. Shivers. And as a result, you don't have that top level view. So we use Lucidchart. Love it. It's a great program, but it's not connected to.
No, that's right.
So yeah, that's a very
great tip.
Wise idea.
I like it a lot. So thank you, Nicole. I loved that hashtag Girlboss idea very much. Now, normally at this point of the show, we do an app that we're liking.
Yep.
But we've kind of we've changed it. We're going to rename.
Just 'cause we can.
We're going to rename this section of the show to Stuff That Makes Your Day Better. Adam, this one's yours. Step us through your stuff that makes your day better.
That's the last time I'm doing the jingle.
Yeah, right.
Stuff to make your day better. A lot of companies have brand guidelines.
Oh.
Yeah, but often we don't see enough attention paid to the digital side of that.
Okay.
And it's getting pretty hefty these days when you consider that if your website really isn't mature until it's got 1,000 pages, then there's a lot of digital work going on. So build a digital style guide for your business.
Okay.
And that will be specific to digital. And so what we're talking about there is colours should be hex codes, colours, the internet web codes. Fonts should be the Google Web fonts, and it should be the email-friendly fonts. So if there's Helvetica and Trebuchet and Verdana, which are the fonts you have to use when you're building email, then you can style them using CSS to make them look like your existing fonts, but that takes work. And so get your email fonts sorted out. It's things like the images for email must be 600 pixels wide going in. You've got the way you're going to do overlays, all these different things. Now, it's going to take some effort because typically a lot of this stuff relates to how the programming team, the CSS, HTML programming team build things, which is often a high confusing point for the graphic design part of businesses. Even though the web's been around for 25 years, I'm not sure why the graphic designers don't all know HTML, but that's a whole nother chip on the shoulder. But
Rant.
The rant, yeah. So that digital style guide's super important, and that means you can actually keep things on the straight and narrow when it comes to understanding what are your digital assets. And this would extend across to things like Canva.
Yeah.
When you're producing online banners. There are just so many areas now as to where you are, and hashtags, for example.
Yeah, it's
so
a
many
great
areas
idea.
where you actually got standards that are required by an organisation.
Fantastic.
Yep.
That's certainly made my day better.
Has it made your day better? Well, what's your make my day better?
I don't have one.
Stuff.
I like
stuff to make your day better.
Stuff to make your day better. I like it. It's good.
Great.
I love the idea of having a central spot for hashtags.
Yeah.
I'm still using Notes.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is we don't have that central spot.
A library.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be.
Hashtag digital style guide.
I like it.
Cool.
Very cool. Well, that's it from me.
Aren't you going to make my day better with some stuff?
No, I haven't got anything.
Okay.
You've got it. You had it. You're done.
I was the stuff master.
You were the stuff master. Thanks for listening, everybody. As usual, if you'd like to hear more of our episodes, they are all loaded on our website. Head to thekingdom.com.au/hub-and-spoke. Available in iTunes as well. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and please email us if you have any contributions to our hashtag Girl Boss section. We would love to do a shout out to you.
A girl to actually,
no,
or a boss.
Clearly not. You're not a girl. No, you are a boss.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Excellent. Thanks for listening. See you for 52.
See you later. Bye.
You have been listening to Hub and Spoke. For all the new shows, check out www.thekingdom.com.au/Hub and Spoke. You have been listening to Adam Steinhardt and Zan Johnson of The Kingdom, an inbound marketing agency from Adelaide, South Australia. HubSpot Platinum Partners and the International HubSpot Partner of the Year 2015.